Hello ninjas and ninjettes, and welcome to another episode of the Exposure Ninja Digital Marketing Podcast. My name's Tim Cameron Kitchen. I'm the UK's best-selling digital marketing author, and I'm head ninja at lovely digital marketing agency Exposure Ninja. This show is all about helping you to generate more leads and sales through your website. And in this episode, I'm very happy to welcome back Lozz Newton from Exposure Ninja. We've had a lot of feedback from people that they really enjoy the early episodes of the podcast where we're actually talking to the ninjas from Exposure Ninja team. So what we wanted to do for a few episodes now is to actually take you behind the scenes of some real life client campaigns that we've been running. So Lozz has come on to talk about a particular Facebook ad campaign that we've been running for a book launch. And he explains the sort of targeting that we used, the strategy, what happened. A slightly different campaign this, because we're actually driving people not to the author's website, but to Amazon. So he talks through some of the challenges and opportunities around that. So I hope you enjoy it. And don't forget to let us know what you think about this episode and the podcast in general by leaving a review on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. And of course, don't forget to check out show notes at exposureninja.com/podcast. Lozz, welcome to the show.
Oh, yeah, thanks for having me again, Tim.
It's been a while, hasn't it? The dream team back together.
Yeah. So talking with Paul, I was on episode, what is it, one to 5, I think, and then I've not been back since.
Oh, Lozz.
And then left out.
Personally, mate, we're having all these interviews, but a lot of feedback is always that people really like the ninja episodes where we talk with internal ninjas. So yeah, we're going to do some of that. So in this episode, we're going to talk through one particular campaign which you ran for Facebook ads, didn't you? And we're going to talk through a book launch process that we used to help one of our clients, Vicky from Honest Mum. So do you want to set the scene for us? What did Vicky come to us asking us to do?
Yeah, so Vicky is the writer of the Honest Mum blog. She's got a large kind of following on social media over the last few years, sort of talking about parenting and lifestyle tips and recipes and film and travel and all kinds of different stuff. Yeah, really great blog if you're into that kind of stuff. So definitely do check it out. And then based on sort of that, writing that blog over time, she's then kind of collated all of that information and written a book called Mum Boss. The subtitle is The Honest Mum's Guide to Surviving and Thriving at Work and at Home. Yeah, it's just all that kind of same sorts of stuff, but kind of condensed down into book form so that you can read that out and about. And she wanted help really promoting that book across her social media channels. So yeah, we needed to put together a Facebook ad campaign so that we could sort of leverage the social media following that she's got already and try and get people to purchase the book during the sort of 1 month launch window. So we started when the book went live and we ran a campaign for the first month to try and drive sales during that period.
So, and I have to say, I've read Mum Boss. I bought it on the day of release. And even though I'm not a mum boss, I'm obviously a dad boss now. It's such a good book and it's classic Vicky. It's completely open, completely honest, and really shows behind the scenes of what it's like being a high profile mum blogger. And Vicky is super high profile. She's on national TV. She's like doing radio interviews and all that sort of stuff and working with some huge global brands. The reason that she asked us to help with the book stuff is obviously we've promoted books ourselves. Now, our books, we don't have the benefit of being a large celebrity. Like I'm not on TV, I'm not on radio much. So we've grown our books and got them to bestseller status through pure digital marketing, hard graft. So we're really excited by the opportunity to combine Vicky's high profile with some real old school direct response, hard graft. Now, obviously, Lozz, we were driving traffic to Amazon, which provides a little bit of a tracking challenge, doesn't it? So how do we kind of measure the success on a campaign like this?
The kind of first thing to touch on is that, normally our best practice with a Facebook ads campaign is that we'd be installing the Facebook pixel, which we've talked about previously, about sort of some of the reasons why you might do that. So you might do that so that you can track, the amount of people that are landing on the page and viewing the page that you're driving people to. And you may also then, track conversions based on that traffic as well. So you may be able to see how many sales you're getting based on your ad campaign, which obviously, really, really useful data. Unfortunately, because, what we're doing here is we're doing a national book launch, which is sold on Amazon, not through, an external website that we had access to. We weren't able to install the Facebook pixel. So the fact that we couldn't install the Facebook pixel did somewhat limit what kind of tracking we could do. So yeah, in order to try and, get the best results that we could, what we did is we focused on, obviously, traffic. So we're making sure that people are clicking the link rather than any other engagement metric with a Facebook ad. And we also made sure that we had some really highly targeted ad sets so that we know that these people are definitely going to be the people that are interested in what it is that Vicky's got to say and are interested in Vicky's book. So yeah, it was a bit of a shame that we couldn't install more tracking information. But yeah, we know that it's a very successful campaign. But unfortunately, we can't give specific results about how many sales are as a result of our ads, unfortunately.
Like we found with our own books when we drove Facebook ads to them, we know that Amazon as a website converts well. So if you're driving, a few thousand or even hundreds of clicks to an Amazon page, you have to assume that, the clicks are qualified. People don't go to Amazon because they're looking for information. They go to Amazon to buy. So there's going to be a certain amount of commercial intent. The other reason that we like doing this type of stuff is Amazon has its own visibility algorithms, and things like the amount of traffic coming to a page is really important for Amazon, because it needs to know that if I'm going to be showing a bunch of books on people who bought this also bought, or I'm going to be showing books in people's search results, I want to make sure that those books are popular and that they're going to be selling. So if we can drive traffic through Amazon, there's like a secondary benefit there in helping the books with their Amazon ranking as well.
To that end, we did also obviously achieve some pretty good results in terms of Amazon bestseller lists, which I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit in a little bit when we talk about results. But that was obviously, quite important because, showing up on those Amazon bestseller lists means that, like you say, we're more likely to show up in recommendations. If you like this book, you might like other kind of things and that sort of placing. So yeah, we got some good results in terms of that as well.
So talk us through the campaign, Lozz. What assets did you start with and what sort of ads were you creating?
Vicky was really fantastic in that she's, like you say, she's a really high profile and has worked with, lots of celebrities in the past. And she was able to get some fantastic quotes from some celebrity friends and colleagues that have read her book and are giving some really strong recommendations. So the starting point for Facebook ads in terms of ad copy was to take those quotes and then turn them into something that would be sort of easily digestible when you're scrolling through the Facebook newsfeed. So what we did was basically we took some imagery where Vicky had been on a photo shoot recently, and we took images of Vicky and obviously of the book itself, and we combined that with some quotes from different celebrities that we've that had read the book. And then basically what we were trying to do is we wanted to leverage the fact that that these people have got large audiences themselves, so we were able to target those audiences on Facebook as well. So for example, Sarah Willingham, we had a quote from her, so we're able to obviously target people like Dragon's Den and that sort of thing. And some of the other quotes were from Julia Banbury, and let me get the list of quotes that
Una Healy from the Saturdays.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, so we had some really great names, and it was just basically a case of targeting those people that like those celebrities on Facebook and showing them ads from people that they already know about and care about, and saying, hey, you're somebody that you're interested in recommends this. So there's a pretty pretty high chance that if you got a celebrity recommendation, somebody that you trust and care about their opinion, if they're saying that it's good, then there's a pretty good chance that you're going to check that out. So that's what we did there.
So if I like Una Healy and I'm following Una Healy on Facebook, and then what happens is I see an ad with Una's quote saying, Mum Boss is a killer book, everyone should go and read it. That has massive credibility to me because Una's such an influence in my life, and here she is, my idol, saying, go and get this book. So it's really kind of targeted, isn't it? It's a great way to use testimonials of people that already have a following, I guess, and just piggyback on their popularity.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, like you say, obviously testimonials themselves, can be a really great sales tool, even if it's not somebody famous, somebody that you've heard of. But then when you couple that with an authority figure, somebody whose opinion you know and trust, then yeah, absolutely massive in terms of the kind of results that you can get there.
So stepping out of this particular campaign for a second and going more towards listeners, how can listeners be using testimonials if they don't have the sort of testimonials of people that have large audiences? How can they use testimonials in their ads?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I say, testimonials from your customers are still going to be a really strong way of giving people some trust in your brand and trust in your product. So it doesn't have to be somebody famous, and if it's somebody that's used your product and it's not something that you've paid for, then that testimonial can be really, really valuable as a sales tool. So just saying, hey, I've used this product and I like it for these reasons is a really fantastic sales method. So yeah, can't really be understated that if you're starting out as a new business, one of the first things you should be doing is getting some testimonials from your customers.
Okay, cool. So, all right, talk me through how the ad campaign was structured then. How did you set up all these ads? Did you have them in their own ad groups? Did you put them all in one big ad group? Like, what was the structure there?
Yeah, so in terms of structure, what we did is we started with an ad template. So we had the layout mostly fixed in terms of imagery for the book cover, and also some great images of Vicky herself, and then they were combined with, like I say, the ads from each celebrity. Once we then made those ads, we then created an individual ad set for each of the celebrity quotes and celebrity audiences. So then we were able to target interests that's directly related to that celebrity, but also then add in some things around it. So, for example, like you said, Una Healy, we can obviously target her as an individual, but then we've also got the Saturdays that we can target, and then we've got the opportunity, if we wanted to expand the audience, then we could go a little bit further out, and we could add we could add in kind of pop music and the whole kind of people that are going to like that sort of genre. We mostly focused on quite specific because we knew that we were really going to be quite time strict in terms of this campaign. We're running for 1 month. So we didn't have time to go for those larger sizes of audiences. So we're really focusing as laser sharp as we could in terms of targeting. So individual celebrity audiences and things that are directly related to them. So if it was somebody that's obviously been on a TV show, then we'll be targeting the TV shows that they are on, as well as people that like them as an individual celebrity.
So what about schedule? So did we just set up the ads and then leave them once the book was launched, or did you update messaging over time? How did that all work?
Yeah, so that was something which we needed to monitor very, very closely. So we started with quotes from all of the different celebrities that we could do. So I think we had 45 ads when the campaign went live, and then over the first week we pared that down to about 20. So that was really just basically based on the feedback that we were getting. So, the amount of likes, the amount of clicks, all those kinds of metrics that we can see in Facebook. So we were really just looking to see which quotes people were engaging with the most, and then from week 2 onwards, we would then be looking to heavily promote the ones that were performing best. One thing that we also did is we also played around with the amount of text that we had in the quote itself. So we had, for example, a quote from Sarah Willingham, who had quite a long quote. So it was about 5 sentences, and we started off with basically quoting that almost entirely. But then towards the end, what we found was much more appealing to people is a much shorter quote. So this book is a must read. Something that's just, really short and gets the point across straight away. We found to get really good results. So we started off with kind of, some longer form quotes, but we found that they didn't work quite as well as something short and snappy. So that's the kind of direction that we ended up following over the month that the campaign was running for.
So in that first week where there were 45 ads running, what sort of things were you looking at to say, okay, this ad is a loser, we're going to cut it. This ad is a winner, we're going to put more budget behind it?
Because this campaign, we're focused on driving traffic to Amazon. We're focused primarily on sales. The majority of it was based on cost per click, so a number of clicks. So cost per click is just basically the amount of ad budget that you've spent and divided by the number of clicks that the advert has received so far. So that gives you an idea about how much it costs to get traffic over to Amazon. And obviously that was really, really important. So that was our primary metric. So if the cost per click was too high, we would stop the ads from running. If we found that the cost per click was super low, then we would have we'd look in more detail about what it is that ad was doing that was getting such good results. So cost per click was our primary metric, but we were also very keen on looking at the relevance score for the ads as well. So relevance score in Facebook is basically Facebook's kind of combined metrics for all engagement on an ad. So it takes things like it would include link clicks. So if somebody's clicked on the link, if somebody's clicked on the ad image itself, if somebody's clicked on see more. So if you've got a longer piece of text and then you have that ... see more to expand the rest of the text, then that would be included. And then also things like likes, comments, and shares, and also likes for the page as well as likes for the ad, the post individually. All of those metrics basically are combined into one thing called a relevance score, which is a number from 1 to 10. And basically that's a really nice kind of way to quickly gauge and quickly compare the individual ads to see which ones are performing well. Obviously, it's great to look at, which ones are getting the most likes, which ones are getting the most comments, all that kind of stuff. But really, when you're running that many ads, and we're running 45 different ads, we want to quickly be able to tell at a glance which ones are the ones that are doing well, which ones we need to stop. So it was, pretty much cost per click and then relevance score were the two main things that we were looking at.
And so people know, what sort of relevance scores do you consider to be healthy when we're running an ads campaign?
So, it really does kind of vary from industry to industry. So this is, an exciting campaign. We've got quotes from celebrities. We've got, some established audiences in terms of Mumboss's own audience and the audiences from the celebrities as well. So, we were hoping for some good engagement levels because of all those reasons. But we weren't kind of expecting the engagement that we did actually end up getting. So our relevance scores for the ads that we ended up running from weeks 2 onwards, we didn't run anything that was less than an 8 out of 10 relevance score. So really, really happy with it, with the relevance score for the ads. But obviously, if you're in, for our listeners, if you're in a, less exciting, less sort of sexy industry, if we've got some, dental hygiene clients, and we've got obviously solicitors and that kind of thing, if you're in those kind of industries, then you might expect to see less high relevance scores, just because, it's not something that people are as immediately keen to engage with. So you may be happy with a lower relevance score than that. But sort of anything less than an 8 for us was something that we were looking at. Why is that not getting better engagement?
Awesome. Sounds cool. So, all right, let's talk through results then. What happened and how do we know if it was a success?
Over the month of May, we spent a total ad spend of £320, and that resulted in a total of 836 link clicks. So link clicks in our case is highly targeted traffic. So this is people that are engaged with a celebrity, they're engaged with that quote, they're interested in this product, and they're clicking on what is clearly advertised as a product page. So there's no kind of, we didn't sort of use any of the tactics in terms of come and check out more. This was, purchase this book now. when we've got 836 link clicks, this is people that are clicking in order to purchase or have clicked, based on that kind of call to action. So 836 link clicks. As I said, unfortunately, we can't track the exact number of sales, but we know from Vicky and we know from the Amazon results that she's got that it was a really successful campaign. So great to be part of that, but unfortunately, we can't give individual sales numbers or anything like that. So that was our primary metric, was the 836 link clicks that we got. But we did also get quite a lot of engagement as well. So our campaign resulted in 23 page likes for Honest Mum. It resulted in 306 post reactions. So that's likes, loves, laughs, all that kind of stuff, and then 11 post comments as well. So people commenting on the ads themselves. So some great social metrics as well as the actual traffic that we managed to drive to the page.
So to me, that's quite an interesting set of results for a spend of a few £100. Over 800 clicks, but actually relatively few comments and page likes, would you say?
Not a huge number, no. So in terms of the engagement and metrics that we were getting and relevance scores we were getting, a lot of that does come from the link clicks and obviously from post reactions. So we've got people that are liking the ad and that kind of thing. And also, that would just be based on, if people are scrolling past that in the news feed, or if they're engaging and taking in the post as well. So we managed. So in terms of the relevance score, it was considered a really good result. In terms of maybe those social metrics, not immediately massively exciting, but I think really the kind of takeaway from that is that we were heavily focused on a direct sales kind of message. So that's kind of why we didn't get as much engagement as we might have done with a slightly different angle on the campaign.
Got it, because I know we've run other Facebook ad campaigns. I'm thinking for the tuition courses, where the secondary benefit, if you like, so the page likes and the post comments will be massive, 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 and the direct kind of commercial goal is, they're pretty evenly split. So the post is getting a lot of commercial clicks and it's also getting a lot of engagement. Whereas this one, huge amount of commercial intent there. So many people clicking and such healthy metrics there, but less kind of interaction. So I guess the fact that the ads were so heavily focused on driving people straight to Amazon was probably a reason. If we were asking people for their top tips on being a mum boss or something like that, then might have had much higher engagement and more page likes, but actually nowhere near as much commercial traffic to Amazon, I suppose.
Yeah, I totally agree. So I think really we were obviously focused on book sales. That was our main goal. So and all of our ads were focused around that. So the call to action on the ads was how to be a mum boss, purchase on Amazon. And then we also had some ads that had the buy now button that you can include with a Facebook ad as well. So all of our ads are really, really clear that this is a product that we're selling to this audience, and we're selling it to you because we think you'll be interested in it, based on the interests and based on these celebrity interests and that kind of thing. So we're really just focusing on sales as much as possible and and getting the product in front of people that are going to be interested in it.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. And then bestseller rankings, obviously that was one of our primary goals for this campaign, wasn't it? Because we know from experience that if you get a book into bestseller rankings, then that's when things really start to get super interesting. And that's when you can kind of sustain sales long term.
Yeah, bestseller rankings for the book. We had 3 categories. When we initially launched, those 3 categories were a little bit strange. So one of them, we weren't quite sure why we were showing up in that category. We managed to change that so that we had some really great relevant categories. So categories that we showed up in: e-business, starting a business, and also computing as well. So I think computing, their idea was obviously this is based online. We managed to get a number 2 bestseller rank in all of those categories. That's the highest which I saw it at. I need to double check with Vicky about what was the highest that we ever got. If we did hit that number 1 spot or not, I don't know the answer to that.
And she was posting on Facebook as we were going, we've now just hit number top 5 or top 3 or whatever on all these different categories. And the great thing about those bestseller lists is once you're on them, you kind of tend to sustain as long as the book is good quality. Lozz, I'm interested. What did you learn during this campaign that was new to you? Were there any surprises, anything that kind of shocked you about the campaign as you were running it?
Yeah, so I think probably one of the things that I would take away from the campaign is that it would have been great to start the promotion earlier. So it would, I think, what we could have done is we could have built hype around pre-orders and the fact that you're soon going to be able to purchase the book, and then kind of change that traffic into sales traffic closer to the time. So that's something which I would have liked to have done with the campaign, but unfortunately we just didn't get the time to do that. So that would have been really exciting. And then the other thing, like I say, is I think probably what you were talking about a minute ago, Tim, in terms of the difference between commercial intent traffic and engagement metrics. So certainly in the past, we've had a look at some engagement metrics and gone, yeah, this campaign's doing really fantastic based on, likes and comments and that kind of thing. When really, if it's commercial intent that you're after, then maybe those metrics aren't really all of that important. So yeah, maybe sort of focusing on exactly your goals is something to think about in it for future campaigns as well.
Awesome. Any tips for anybody who's running a book promo on Facebook then, other than obviously make sure you start with plenty of time in the run up to the book launching?
I would say, yeah, if you can get some testimonials and that kind of thing, then that's absolutely fantastic. Collecting, sort of the resources you're going to need together in regards to some great imagery to go alongside that would be absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and then making sure that you're showing up in the right categories on Amazon and that kind of thing as well.
So actually, I just checked Vicky's Facebook before we came on. It's actually number 1 bestseller in 4 categories.
Okay.
For a new book is fantastic. So obviously we didn't do all of that. Vicky was on TV and stuff as well, but we were very, very happy to be a part of that. And really, really enjoy working with Vicky. She's such a force of nature, isn't she? Yeah,
definitely. It was an amazing campaign to be alongside. Yeah, every time I spoke to Vicky, she was off on doing another TV interview or something exciting. So yeah, really great campaign to be part of, and really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Lozz, thank you so much for joining us.
Cheers, Tim.
If you need help with your website's digital marketing, so perhaps your sales are too low, your rankings dropped, or you just want to be a bit more aggressive and get yourself some visibility, then we have something which is going to really help you do that. It's our free website and marketing review. Now, this is a 20-minute video that we'll record and send over to you. It's completely custom. Everything is bespoke to your business. This is not some automatically generated software thing. One of our expert team will take a look through your website. They'll have a look at what digital marketing you've been doing. They'll take a look at rankings, opportunity to improve your visibility on Google. They'll also have a look at your competitors. So which competitors are doing the best and how are they doing it and how well are they doing? So they'll wrap all of this info into the video for you, and they'll also give you a prioritized action plan that you can follow at the end to increase your leads and sales over the next 12 months. So if this sounds of interest, it's completely free of charge and there's no obligation to use our service. Head over to exposureninja.com/review. That's exposureninja.com/review.